Welcome back to this video, guys, where we'll be completing the hero section in this particular video. So it's very easy and simple. So the very first thing that we will be looking at the hero section 2 class, which I have already written. So let me just, wrote the class name over here, right? Yeah, that is what I meant. So now let me just make this thing as hero section 2 as, you know what, in this particular design, I'm just gonna add padding on the top. That way, I don't know, a padding on the top of like 60 pixels. That way it will just go down. And the next class that we'll be looking for is the I am text section part, right? And in this, we're gonna add some more padding on the top. I'm gonna add 52 pixel, right? And I'm gonna make this thing as text align as center, because that is what is over here, and that is what we'll be doing over here. So it is just going to basically make this thing as text align as center. All right, now the next part is the I am text part. Okay, so let me just write I am text over here. And I am text, first things first, I'm going to make this thing as font family as Ubuntu. Okay, I'm going to make the color as FFF, font weight as 700. All right, I'm going to make the font size as 1.4 rem. Okay, so it will look something like this. Now the next thing that we have to change is the name. So our name should stand out, right? So that is what we have to do over here. So the class name is name I am text. We can just go ahead over here and confirm with this thing, name I am text. Okay, and I'm gonna write color as, I'm gonna create a variable. I'm gonna give a variable standout color, and the color that I have used is FFFB00, which would be something like green or yellow, yellowish green, yellow. Basically, it would be yellow. I'm gonna write var standout color. There is something that we want to stand out. That's basically we'll use this thing. All right. Now after this part, we have to basically increase the font size. Okay, font size is fine. We need to increase the font size of the name. So the font size that I have chosen is somewhere around 28 px. That's 28 pixel. So I guess kind of looks the same. Okay, exactly looks the same, not kind of, right? Now the next part is I am text subheading. Let me just go down over here and add the class name. I am text subheading would be the same thing. I'm gonna make this thing as open sans for now, because this will be something that will be adding type.js to it. So we really want the user to see this thing. So I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna make the color as hashtag FFF, that is white color. And let me just change the font size to 1.4 rem. Okay, actually this should be not, that should be in, yeah, okay, fine. I'm gonna make this thing as I'm text subheading, and let me work with this thing. Let me take this part. Okay, guys, this was this basically was for this section. All right, now after this part, we will basically work on the font family of this one. And I'm going to make this thing as sans serif, which is automatically installed in a browser. And I'm going to make this thing as FFF, just like any other font. And I'm going to increase the font size like too much, something like 2.8 rem. So I guess that is how it will look. Okay, I don't know, it looks big over here. Never mind, it's okay. We'll just decrease the font size a little bit. Okay, now it looks exactly the same. Right, this part is also done. Now coming to the part where we have to work on the button animations and all. So let's just go ahead with the buttons first. Okay, then now let me just press this button, hire me. Okay, right over here I'm gonna write font size as 1.3 rem. Okay, font family as Ubuntu. This is the same thing that we'll be doing for each and every button. Okay, I'm gonna make the color as #FFF. I'm gonna make the background as transparent for the hire me button, and I'm gonna add the border radius 25 px. Okay, and I'm gonna write margin inline, which is on the margin right, left and right, as 12 px. Okay, I'm gonna add the padding as 5 px and 5 px and 40 px. 5 px, that means on the top and bottom, and on the right and left, that is 40 pixels. I'm gonna add a border of 2 px solid white. Okay, after that we'll use the transition property. Okay, let me just not use transition property and then explain you what is the importance of transition property. Okay, I'm gonna add a hover state to it. Okay, I'm gonna write transform translate y minus 5 px. Okay, and I'm gonna make the background color as standout color. Okay, and I'm gonna make this thing color as 1c 1c 1c, which would be black but not that black. Okay, now let us come back over here. Look at the animation that it is having. It's very jerky. When I just zoom in and show you, it's very jerky. So in order to make it smooth, we have to use the property transition. So we just have to write transition. We have to write all over here and write 0.3s, and basically all in the sense any property that is being changed by using JavaScript or perhaps by using a hover state in CSS, it will just take 0.3 seconds to animate that. And we also have to write ease in and out. Ease in and out is the type of animation that we are doing. So it's just going back, and it's ease in. It's the movement that it has is like it's easing in and it's easing out. All right, something like that. We are having different cubic Bezier values as well, like linear. Before people used to use linear a lot. Ideally everything would be the same, but what I like to use always is ease in and out. There will be a difference, like not a lot of difference, but you'll see the difference when there's like a lot of animations that you're putting in. So now the first part is done, the first button is done, and the next button that we'll be working is the this button, btn resume me. Okay, I'm gonna write font size as 1.3 rem. Okay, I'm gonna add font family as Ubuntu. This is the same thing that we'll be doing. Okay, and I'm gonna make the color as this white, and over here we'll make the background as red, so we do not need to add a variable on the CSS. And I'll add border radius. Okay, border radius 25 px. All right, and I'm gonna write margin inline as 12 pixels. Add padding, the same padding, 5 px and 40 px, the left and right side. I'm gonna add a border of 2 px solid white. Just write a colon over here, that would fix things. And the same thing, transition all 0.3s is in and out. Okay, and I'm going to also add animation, I mean like a transition state to it, which would be button resume me hover. Okay, transform, I won't do a lot, I'll just change the translate y to minus 5 px. Okay, so now we are having both of the animations. So now this thing that you will see over here is we are having a constant animation right over here. So in order to do it, we basically need to add keyframes. Okay, basically, in order to create any animation in CSS, we need to learn about keyframes. So we need the syntax of it is something like this. So we need to write @keyframes. We need to give the name of the animation that we want to uh, give. It's like a variable that you're giving. So now I'm gonna give this thing as anim. Okay, and I'm gonna make this thing as 0% as transform scale 1, and I'm gonna go down to 50% transform as scale as 1.1, and 100% as transform 1 scale as 1. Scale is a property where you can scale the div. It's like, we can increase the, it's like, zooming in, something like that. So it will scale the element, it will just zoom in the element, it just make it big. 1.1 is a very big value, trust me. If we make it as 1.5, it will be very big. So 1.1 is also a good value, a big value. So the logic behind it is something like this. So first things first, we need to create an animation. So in it, we have to use percentages. You'll understand why we have to write this percentages in a moment. For now, I'm gonna write okay, I'm gonna add this animation over here. Okay, so we need to write animation. Okay, we need to give the name of the animation. Okay, I've already created over here, right? So I'm gonna copy and paste this animation. Now we need to give a time period. Okay, I'm gonna give 1 second for now. All right, and after that, we need to give the cubic bezier, like the type of animation, and we also need to write what is the type of animation. Is it infinite? Is it forwards? I mean, like, what happens after it gets finished? I'm gonna choose as infinite. So now let us see what is the output over here. So it's like animating right over here. So what is the logic behind this keyframes? How is it animating? So the thing that it does is that, look at the scale. The timing is 1 seconds, right? So at the 0th percent, the scale would be 1, which is the default state. And at 0.5 second, which is the 50% of the timing that we have provided, that is 1 second. At 0.5 second, the scale will change to 1. And after reaching 1, it will just make it as 1 second again. Again, it will by the property of infinite, it will just go ahead and animate it again and again and again. So it is like that. So if I write forwards over here, that means it will just it will just animate for once and it will stop. You will understand this thing if I just increase the scale of this thing. So let me just reload and show you. See, it just stops, right? 1.5 is too much. I told you guys 1.4 is too much. So let me just make this thing as 1, and I'm gonna make this thing bring this thing back to infinite. But I guess I don't know if this looks good. I'm just putting out over here just to explain you the concept. All right, so this part on the left hand side part is done. Now we have to work on the right hand side part, which is kind of hard in my opinion. Yeah, so now the very first thing that we will be doing is working on the custom div outer image, which is this part. Okay, right, this thing. Okay, why did it not copy? Okay, cool, never mind. I'm gonna copy it again. Okay, so now after that, okay, perhaps, okay, we are not gonna add anything over here. We will just dig in down and just add CSS to other things like custom img over here. Okay, we'll add a class name of custom img, something like this. And okay, custom img, and I'm gonna write remove this part, write custom img over here. And very first thing that we'll be doing is make the width as 300 pixel, and we will make the border radius as 50%. And I'm gonna make this thing as display flags and justify content center just to make the image as center. And I guess most of the things are done, and now we just need to add padding on the bottom just to make sure that it doesn't touch this thing. Okay, it's easy. Actually, we can just leave it in this way. It kind of looks good. I don't know. But I'm just gonna add padding on the bottom. Okay, like 12 px, just to make sure that it looks something like this. And also one more thing that we'll do is make this thing as object fit contain. So if I make this thing object fit as contain, if the image gets stretched out by this property that we are writing over here, this property will basically make it as, all right. So this basically this property will make it as, it will not stretch the image. It will just make the image, it will increase the size of the image until it breaks. I mean, like, until it is fine, something like that. I mean, the aspect ratio would be maintained. And right over here, we would just add few BR tags. Whoa, let me just check it out. Okay, right, few BR tags. Actually, BR tags are not necessary. We can just give a padding on the bottom if you want, but I'm gonna add few BR tags. And one more thing that we are missing is this white color border, which we will add in a moment. Okay, I'm gonna write border as 1px solid white. Cool. So we'll have this border or something like that. So because of the padding that is over here, if I remove this padding, see, the border will basically touch that. If I add it back, it will just remove that. It will just create this effect. It looks like a mirror, in my opinion. Please don't look at my image because it's a very, very old image. Yeah. Well, jokes apart, now let's move forward. I guess the hero section is done. Looks actually the same. Okay, we have a scroll bar over here. That is why it's not, it's looking, the images are going on the left side. And we will have a scroll bar. We'll have the same scroll bar. So don't worry about it. So yeah, that's it for this video, guys. We have completed the hero section, and in the next section we will go ahead and start the about me page, and you will see how we can implement these animations. What is the website that we'll be using to implement these animations? All right, so see you all guys over there. Till then, goodbye and take care.